Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Stu, and this is Crumbly Woods for Rollercoaster Tycoon Classic. A large park with well-designed but rather old rides. Replace the old rides or add new rides to make the park more popular. Your objective, to have at least 1,200 guests in your park at the end of October, year 3, with a park rating of at least 600. Okay then, so this could be the last video I record like this for a few weeks, not forever, just for a few weeks, but more on that later. So the park is pretty big actually. So we've got a nice large space there. Let's have a look. Let's get the gate up. So that's everything we own. We haven't got any building rights and can't buy any more land. So a lot of the park is dominated by this huge woody, if you pardon the expression. It's Mobius, so that blue train there will return to the inside station and the green one will return to the outside station. So in order to do a complete circuit on it, you would need to go on it twice. Okay, so decent stats on that. The trains are a little short, so I am going to want to increase that. There's no block section on it, so I'm going to want to add that to it. Probably the easiest way to do that would be to split the stations. So we'll have a separate station for the exit and the entrance, and then maybe add a block on it. Maybe we can incorporate this hill up there as well. Moving down that wild mouse. Let's hang on a second. It did say they were old, so 14 years ago. So yeah, we're not going to be able to charge too much for it. I know some people rebuild them, so maybe that's what I did the first time through. You delete a section, you build it to copy, and then you can't actually, you can save it, but it'd be difficult to build because you've got some underground sections. The wild mouse is pretty hideous, so we'll probably end up getting rid of that. Now I think I remember criticizing this coaster before, and I think someone did comment that it's like actually historic and all that sort of nonsense. And I've since been to Blackpool where they've got a coaster like this, and it was actually pretty cool. The problem is the way it's located here, it just looks really ugly. So again, I am going to keep it for nowsies, but at some point I'm going to want to maybe relocate it if possible, so it's in an area where it looks better. Like, for example, if we could have the station up on a hill and then have it coming down into a loop into the valley and then up, that would look a lot better. If not, we can maybe do something else. The merry-go-round and the haunted house and the Ferris wheel, they've all got very dumb pathing. Like, for example, the way the pathing is, it's very dumb, takes up a lot of space. No, it's so we're going to have to change those at some point. What about this car right here? Clearly, you could have more cars than that, so we can increase that. So have a look at the stats, 6.5 minutes. That's probably too long. Yeah, they want to get off that. So we're probably going to shorten that at some point as well. Yeah, so let's have a look, see what we've got then. We've got a transport ride, which we're not really going to use. Not a bad selection of shops. Some water rides, thrill ride, pirate ship. Decent selection of coasters to begin with, and decent selection of gentle rides. I think for year one, even though we've already got a decent selection of shops, I figure we might as well see what else is in there, give us a better variety, because even though we haven't got a great selection of thrill rides, we do have a good selection, a very good selection of coasters and a very good selection of gentle rides. So we aren't going to need to spend as much time researching rides as we might do if we didn't have such a good selection of coasters. But I think for year one, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to tweak the layout of this one. I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to want to tweak it. I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to rebuild it. So we're going to have to deal with the fact that we're charging a lot less than if it was new. But I am going to want to tweak the pathing, the queue lines, tweak the stations, maybe the track as well to add some longer trains, etc. Have a look at adding path loops and tidying up the existing pathing as well, make it a little bit more sensible, and then see how we get off. But yeah, I've got my work cut out for me in year one. Let's crack on. October, year one, and we've given the wooden coaster a little bit of a paint job as well. It's not bad. The synchronization could be a little better, so we might have to add a little trim break somewhere along the lines. Because this section up the top, so it comes up, and clearly the one on the inside track is always going to be a little bit quicker. And then we got a little splash down there, and then back to the station. Still need to decorate that, but it's fine. So we got a little underground path just there. So I added that as a sort of a temporary path whilst I cordoned off some of the other pathing to tidy it, and I've just kept it there because I think it's kind of cool. So we've brought a path up here, got one of the stations this side, so that gives us some space this side to play with. Added some more shops and things like that. Adjusted the pathing down here. It's about to rain, so we're going to benefit from that sweet umbrella cash, as is customary. Umbrellas, information kiosks and toilets on major corners, junctions, that sort of thing. More pathing up here. I think at some point I'm going to want to build maybe a path underground through here. So we got rid of the wild mouse, got some shops and stalls and things, and then I haven't tweaked this one yet. I'm going to save the design. I'm going to see if I can relocate it, rotate it. If not, I mean, I will be able to do it, but I want to be able to do it in a way that makes sense. Adjusted the pathing on the haunted house just there. I've got rid of the Ferris wheel for nowsies. I've moved her into storage. We'll bring that back out at some point. In reality, we've deleted it and we've rebuilt them so that they're brand new and we can earn more cash from them. And not just earning more cash from them, guests will want to ride them as well. So rather than having them stuck or on the paths where they might end up making the place crowded, they're actually joining the queue line, so they're off the main paths for a bit. So with the crazy critters then, we've increased the cars up. And what we did was we got rid of the underground, all this section that was here in and out of there, and that shaved off a decent amount of time. So it's only, I think, maybe a minute or so they've taken off, but at least now there's no one complaining about going on there. Okay, there's not as many. Oh, there actually is. It's quite a bit. There are some empty cars because of it's raining. So, but there's no complaints about the length of time. They're just complaining the fact that they want to go on something more thrilling. Not at the moment, obviously, because it's raining, but in general they are, and that's because the intensity is really low. But we're not going to bother faffing about with that. Adjusted the queue on the carousel as well. Added a path just down the back of this section as well, connecting it all up. Yes, so it's looking pretty good. I think for year two then, we're going to research thrill rides, see what we got, and we can start putting some down. But I am going to want to decorate this coaster. I mean, we've got 700 guests, okay? We only need 1,200. If we needed 2,000, I would concentrate on building rides. Since we only need 1,200, we can concentrate on the scenery and things. And if we're still a little short come year three, then we can concentrate on rides. But at the moment, since we don't need a huge amount, I'm going to concentrate, as I said, on the decorating and on trying to make this look nice. Because at the moment, it doesn't. It's just the way the pathing is here. If there was a way of making the pathing look a lot nicer, maybe putting it in a building or something that was easy to do, then I would probably do that. But at the moment, it just looks hideous. So yeah, anyway, year two, we're going to crack on with, as I said, the decorating and stuff, and I'll see you soon. October year two, 940 something guests in the park, so I couldn't get Whiplash to look good by rotating it and moving it around a bit. So in the end, I got rid of it and added two fairly similar designs in the corkscrew, both called Whiplash. Decent excitement on that, plus they're synchronized, so it works out pretty well. I don't quite like the way the queue lines are for these. Oh, that wall's out of place, but maybe we'll put a tree there or something to hide it, because it's very, very similar. But I think if we mix up some of the other pathing when we build it, that might look a bit better. So moving over to here, then we've added a wild mouse back there. It drops down around a bit in underground, back around, and we got a little building to hide this little section just there. Let me turn off scenery so you can see it, just to make that look a little bit neater and back up. So when it came back, the stats were terrible. So it was, I think it wasn't going fast enough, and it didn't have high enough lateral G, so it was getting a few penalties. So the excitement was like point something. It was really low. So what I've done is underground, we've added in that little sort of neck breaking turn there. It's not going that fast enough that it generates too high a lateral G, and then we've added in that drop as well to really give it a good speed boost, and that seems to have given us some really good stats. We've got a motion simulator just down there, something quite cheap and compact to build there. Moving back around, we've decorated what is now called Crumbly Castle. Got it running on £1 because we want to get more guests into it. It's still not getting too full. So let's have a look at the stats then. So here's the stats as it is now. I'll also overlay the stats as it was at the beginning. I can't remember what it was like, but we've managed to get the ride time to be more or less the same. Well, it is the same, but in reality, once there's guests on there and the trains are a little bit heavier, it's not quite. So let's have a look. Comes up just on there. As you can see, after the bridge, you've got a little trim break that the green went through. So when it comes back round, they both hit. When they were empty, they both hit the final block break at the same time. But because one of them's got more guests on the other, they travel at slightly different speeds. So I like the little bridge going across and one going underneath. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I think for year 3 then, we're going to research roller coasters. We're probably not going to put too many more down. We've got nearly 1,000 guests. We've got that green arrow. So I think we still need to bring that Ferris wheel back, add a couple more flat rides, maybe a couple more coasters, and then we can concentrate on things like decorating the bridges, adding down some fencing, that sort of thing, making the place look pretty, and paying back the loan, because we ended up taking out a 15,000 loan, mainly year 1 and part of year 2, because we didn't really have any rides that we were able to charge a lot of money for. So at the moment, these corkscrews were charging £5 a quote for, which we could probably get away with charging a bit more, especially when they're brand new. But to be honest, I figure I don't really need tons of cash. So rather than putting it to a higher value and then having to come back and lower it once I realize that nobody's going on it anymore, we'll just leave it at that. And I think the same for Crazy Critter or Crumbly Critter just down there. So I did say this was the last video I'm going to be doing for a few weeks because we're going on holiday. We're not going away for a couple of weeks, and then we're going to be away for a couple of weeks. So this video now is going to be out like the weekend coming, about a week from now. So I've got plenty of videos. What's happening with that wall there? Why does that look weird? Look at that. The wall there is clearly next to the track. When you rotate it this way, it looks like it's on the track. That's a bit bizarre, isn't it? Anyway, so I've got some videos ready. If you're interested, I have a members section where if you subscribe, you get early access to that. But that's all you get is early access. You don't get any extras. You're all going to get the videos eventually. It's just rather than having them sat on my hard drive doing nothing and potentially losing them if I get a failure on the hard drive again, I've got them uploaded onto YouTube, sat in that queue, ready for release. So I've got a few more. I've got a few more of the wrap-up videos from Route 66, as well as potentially a return to the Six Flags Mega Park that I kind of abandoned, to have a look at that, to see what I need to do, and also, I think that's it. But I've also want to be, whilst I'm away and I've got a lot of downtime, I want to be working on potentially on the Six Flags Park and potentially on the Groundhog Grove Mega Park that I wanted to do for simple sort of tutorial designs, that sort of thing. So yeah, anyway, that's enough waffling. Let's crack on with year 3. October, year 3, almost 1,600 guests in the park, so it's doing amazingly well. And I haven't built that many new rides, to be honest. I think it's just a combination of the rating being up high and a few awards that we've won. I don't know if we've got any at the moment. Oh, there you go. We've got 2 on the go at the moment, so we're having a decent boost there. So as you can see, we've got a new coaster just here. The Ferris wheel is back. In reality, it's a brand new one, so we're able to benefit from the fact that it's new. And we've got crumbly cars just there, decent stats, comes up the chain lift, down, underneath the supports, over the main track for Crumbly Castle, back around a few trick tracks, and then into, oh look, an abandoned mine shaft, and then back up, because it doesn't really make sense that you just dig a hole and dig a tunnel for a roller coaster. But if you've got an abandoned mine shaft, that kind of makes sense. That's the law anyway. Loads of fences around the place. It's a very simple detail, but I think it does make the place look really cool. Little twist, but there we've got a roto drop just there as well. Back down. Oh, a loop. What can that be for? And then back around. Then we've seen these. We've got a 3D cinema just there. Another couple of loops. A little brake run just there, or mid-course brake run. And then what's going on here? We've got a looping coaster. Oh, hang on a second. And it's about time that it's ready to be filled up. Okay, so it's called the Crumbly Rocket and decent stats on it. So we're running 2 trains because it's not a launch coaster. So it comes out. It looks a kind of little bit weird with the S-bend, but that's simply so I could shove the station over a little bit and add an extra row of path tile in there. So it comes out through that little S-bend to line it up with this slope down. And then in that little tunnel, there's some boosters. So it boosts it up. So by using the boosters as opposed to the powered launch, you're able then to have more than one train. A few interactions with the wooden coaster. And then we got the first loop, and then, oh look, another abandoned mine shaft. And then underground then, if we switch it onto that view, you've got another boost section up and over underneath the Wild Mouse. Then we've got the loops. And then we've got the mid-course brake run just there, and then a slow meandering return to the station. So then by that point then, this one comes out and goes on its merry way. And yeah, it gets moving pretty well. Tidied up the bridges, so they're looking pretty cool. Added some more food stalls and things. One thing that we have been winning quite regularly is best food, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think the park looks really good. I'm glad I kept the main attractions, and by them I would say that this one here is one of the main attractions, even though, let's have a look. There you go. Guess when I go on motorolling. And the wooden coaster here, which we've currently got. Oh, hang on. Crumbly sauce, which we've currently got. No, let me click it. Oh, I have clicked it. Hang on. And we've unlocked Paradise Pier. There you go. We still got on £1 as well. So I was going to make it free, but as you can see, it's still pretty busy. Almost full, as is always the way with Mobius coasters. You always get one station that's a lot busier than the other. And I don't know why. No idea why. Yeah, so, oh no, now one's broken down. Is it going to go out of sync? Let's have a look. Hide rights. So we can see we got one there, one there, one there. Which one did that go off on? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. This might be a good way of showing you how to run things back in sync. So this is inside track. Oh, there you go. It should work out fine. So they'll come back. The red one will drop down now, link up with the green one because we're on synchronize. So that'll then allow the green one to go forward to link up with the blue one. And then hopefully once the green one's out of the way, the purple one will drop back in and it'll be in sync, which is cool. Sometimes what happens is you end up with the 3 trains on the one track and one train on the other track, and then you've got to play about with the synchronized settings to get one to release and then for them to all line up again. But yeah, it's worked out all right, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, so this is Crumbly Woods. I've been Stu. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.